According to Trump, if you're an international student in the United States, your university could be forced to reporting you to the government for expressing certain political viewpoints. Trump signed an executive order this week asking universities to monitor and report the activities of international students and faculty. He's specifically asking institutions to scrutinize their students and faculty under an immigration law that's designed for espionage, sabotage, overthrowing the U.S. government by force, or unlawful activity. Now, his executive order is framed as a measure to combat anti-Semitism, but it specifically targets students and faculty who have expressed pro-Palestinian sentiment or who have participated in campus demonstrations supporting Palestinian rights. So what does this all actually mean? Well, there's a huge risk of misapplication here. Peaceful protests and demonstrations could now be mischaracterized as unlawful activity or even opposition to the U.S. government. Political opinions could be flagged as national security threats. And student activism could be weaponized to justify visa revocation as well as deportation. So if you've attended a protest, posted online, or engaged in any sort of activism related to Palestinian rights since October 7th, 2023, does this executive order apply to you? And the answer is possibly. It orders federal agencies to review civil complaints that were filed as of October 7th, 2023 and forward, meaning past activism could be flagged as a deportation risk. It also puts pressure on universities to report student activities, even if those activities occurred in the past. It could also lead to visa revocation for previous actions that were protected free speech. Now, this executive order has many legal flaws and will most likely be taken up in court. There's clearly a First Amendment violation of free speech here, as the U.S. Constitution protects free speech, including for non-citizens who are inside the United States. It also targets a specific political opinion. So targeting pro-Palestinian activism constitutes unconstitutional viewpoint discrimination. There's also a clear Fifth Amendment due process violation. Students can't be deported without a fair hearing. And this order lacks legal standards and doesn't provide clear process. Also, the law that he's asking universities to look at when monitoring and reporting student activities was never meant for peaceful protests. This law applies to espionage and sabotage and terrorism, not students criticizing U.S. policy. So bottom line, the order will face lawsuits and courts will likely not uphold it. But unfortunately, there is an immediate impact of potential self-censorship of students and faculty. Now, it's important to know your rights in this situation, so here's how you can protect yourself. First, you need to know that speech is protected, but you also want to be aware of surveillance. Universities cannot legally deport you, but they can monitor what you're doing, as well as report you. So you want to be smart, especially with what you post online and what you do and say at protests. You want to assume that social media is being monitored at all times, so use privacy settings and avoid sharing too much personal information online. You should also do whatever you can to protect your immigration status. Keep copies of all your visa documents with you as well as proof of your status. And if you're close to graduating, consider adjustment of status or changing status to another visa type, as this executive order specifically targets foreign students and faculty. Now, if you're targeted, it's really important to seek legal help immediately. Contact an immigration lawyer immediately if there's a threat to your visa or if there's a deportation threat. Also, there are a lot of groups like the ACLU, for example, who can help. Also, now is the time to organize and build support networks. Universities have a responsibility to protect students, so public pressure matters. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments and follow us for more immigration news and information.